Let's go to our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, for more on why President Trump decided to back off his trade war, putting most of his so-called reciprocal tariffs on hold for 90 days. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Michael. Well, President Trump had been adamant he was sticking by his strategy, but he also clearly had his eye on the turmoil in the markets. And while he is backing off most of these tariffs for now, there are still very big questions about the road ahead, especially as Trump ramps up his trade war with China. Just 1 week after upending global trade with his sweeping tariffs, President Trump hitting the brakes, citing growing concern on Wall Street.
Well, I thought that people were jumping a little bit out of line. They were getting yippy, you know, they were getting a little bit yippy, a little bit afraid.
Just hours earlier, the president had urged Americans to be cool, saying everything is going to work out well, adding this is a great time to buy. In the week since he unveiled his massive tariffs, the market's in a tailspin. But the president had insisted he was staying the course. In the Oval Office on Monday, I asked him if a pause was on the table. Would you be open to a pause in tariffs to allow for negotiations?
Well, we're not looking at that. We have many countries that are coming to negotiate deals with us, and they're going to be fair deals.
But the pressure from worried investors, frustrated businesses, and anxious Americans, too much to bear. Just 13 hours after his sweeping tariffs went into effect, the president with that stunning about face, announcing he's pausing his so-called reciprocal tariffs for 90 days on all countries but China to allow time to negotiate. Pressed on what changed, Trump acknowledging the turmoil in the markets.
Over the last few days, it looked pretty glum.
The decision seeming to catch his own top trade advisor off guard. Jamieson Greer on Capitol Hill defending Trump's tariffs, warning the trade deficit is an emergency when he learned of the reprieve.
Mr. Trade Representative, are you aware that the tariffs have been paused?
I am, yes.
When were you made aware of that?
Well, I understood the decision was made a few minutes ago.
And what do you know about those details?
Well, as I mentioned,
it looks like your boss just pulled the rug out from under you and paused the tariffs, the taxes on the American people. There's no strategy. You just found out 3 seconds ago, sitting here, we saw you.
We've been discussing a variety of things.
That uncertainty trickling down to small business owners like Chris Farley. He owns 5 running apparel stores in the D.C. area. All of his stock, from shoes to clothing, produced overseas. We were with him when news of the president's decision broke. The president, it appears, just announced that he is pausing these tariffs and lowering them.
This is the world we're in now. What I was hoping for is some predictability of life and work, and this is just so challenging that's great news. Maybe I should react that that's great news, but what does that mean for tomorrow?
The administration now racing to negotiate. They say over 75 countries are eager to strike a deal. White House officials insisting this pause will buy them enough time.
We're going to have just a beautiful set of custom suit deals for each one of these countries where everyone in America is going to be better off. Now, the president says he thinks a deal with China is still possible. He says he's willing to speak directly with President Xi, but the Chinese say they will, quote, fight to the end. George.
Okay, Mary, thanks very much.